Then Eurasian group on combating money laundering. So money laundering, this comes in the economics part also. So money laundering and terrorism are there. EAG, Eurasian means European countries and Asian countries are present in this group to reduce this. So it is recently in the news because India attended this 32nd special EAG meeting. And India, whatever the groups, whatever the summits India attends, they are all important. So EAG is similar to FATF, Financial Action Task Force is there. So it is important. So know about this Financial Action Task Force, which I will be saying in economics class, or if it is possible today or tomorrow, you look into this FATF. EAG is a associate member of this FATF. So main aim of this EAG or FATF is to overcome this money laundering, which is using the money earned through money laundering is being used for terrorist activities. So these are countries which are part of this EAG, Eurasian countries, that is Belarus, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. India is also a member of this. Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Then ILO. ILO is also very much important because after 35 years, after a gap of 35 years, India assumed the chairmanship of this governing body of ILO. That is the reason why ILO is very much important. And when did this ILO get formed? ILO got formed before UN only. That is on the Treaty of Versailles, 1919. This ILO was created. If you study the world history, then you will know why ILO was created. If I go on explaining, then I can't complete the syllabus. So it is in news because India assumed the chairmanship of this governing body, that is ILO, after a gap of 35 years. It is also a UN agency only. The mandate of ILO is that advance social and economic justice of the laborers all around the world. It's the mandate of this ILO. And there is a governing body, which is a apex executive body of ILO, which decides on policies, programs, budget, and it also elects Director General, DG. So this is important. When did this Treaty of Versailles is important, and ILO is a UN body or not? They will ask these things only. And if there are any reports given by this ILO, those reports are also important. Just go to the website of this ILO and find out the reports of this ILO. Find out what are the reports of this ILO, or if they give any kind of indices, also know about it. This time it is important. And it's been around 100 years of this, more than 100 years. This is one or first or one or second year going on formation of this ILO. But last year and before last year, I did not see the question on this ILO. Then ECOSOC is asked in the generally in the mains. That is the reason why it is important in the news, because India bet China to win 4-year term on 3 prestigious bodies of UN ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council. ECOSOC means Economic and Social Council. So India won over China and been elected to these bodies for a 4-year term from 2021 to 2024. So what are those 3 bodies? Commission on Status of Women, Committee on Program and Coordination, and Commission on Population Development. So women is there, population is there, and program coordination is there. So ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council, means there is social, women come under the social, population and development come under the social development, and program and coordination for better economic development. So this is why ECOSOC is also important. Then Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. This is the India's initiative. That is the reason why it is important. And first anniversary is we have celebrated in 2020. That is the reason why it is important. Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. This is also a kind of soft diplomacy. This is also a kind of soft diplomacy of India for ensuring better disaster relief to help the countries who are more affected by the disasters. So it was launched by PM Narendra Modi at UN Secretary General's Climate Action Summit in New York in September 2019. So CDRI is multi-stakeholder global partnership of national governments, agencies, and development banks. So first anniversary was celebrated. The theme is that future of infrastructure resilience in the context of global pandemic. So this is the infrastructure. So this is the disaster relief theme of this CDRI. Disaster doesn't mean just the physical disasters. This COVID-19 global pandemic also is a social disaster, social and economic disaster. And more than social and economic, it is a human disaster. This is the reason why CDRI is important. They will ask this is the initiation of USA or UN, something like that. No, it is the initiation of PM Modi, CDRI. Okay. Then US peacekeepers is important. In 2019, I think in the mains they have asked this peacekeeping missions and peacekeepers and everything. So generally they will repeat one or two questions of the mains questions in the prelims. That is the reason why it is important. India contributes to some decent number of people to the UN peacekeeping force, UNKPF, PKF, sorry, peacekeeping force. We do contribute a significant amount. And India recently, it is in the news because India gifted 2 lakh vaccine doses to UN peacekeeping forces during the COVID-19 pandemic. So Indian peacekeeping, and one more thing, peacekeepers of India have been awarded this medal, UN medal, for their work in the South Sudan. Okay. Currently, around some 2 to 3 people, India's peacekeeping forces were also killed because of the terrorist attack in South Sudan. That is also important. It's currently around 6,700 troopers serving in various peacekeeping missions of India. India is the 4th highest among the troop contributing countries. So first is the USA, it will be. In 2007, India became first country to deploy all women contingent to UN peacekeeping mission. So these are the important points of regarding UN peacekeeping peacekeepers. Okay. From 1950s only, India is contributing to this UN peacekeeping force. For the mains, I'm saying India has given medical aid through these peacekeeping forces to South Korea. During immediately after 1950, there was a war between South Korea and North Korea. There was a clash. So during that time, Indian paratroopers have helped them. Okay, through the medical assistance. Then data free flow with trust. Data free flow with trust, DFFT, is important. It is also known as Osaka Declaration. Where is this Osaka? In which country it is present? Know about it. Okay. In the map or in the Google, try to know where is this Osaka. Because if you see last year, 2018's paper, you can see this particular place is present in which country, this particular place is present in which country. They can give as the following: places here and countries here, places present in the news. So this Osaka Declaration, it is in the news because India refused to become signatory of this Declaration on Digital Economy. So data flow should be there. India's the purchasing data and what we are purchasing, where we are spending, all this data should flow in other countries also for their economic benefit. That's what the countries are saying, with trust. Data free flow with trust. But India did not sign because we have our own concerns that if data is being flown, then they can use for their own economic benefits. Because India's companies are not as big as US's companies or UK companies, so they can be a threat to Indian companies. That is the reason why we refused to become member of this data free flow with trust thing. So this declaration was launched in 2019 in G20 under Japan's leadership. Okay. It maps multidimensional architecture for international cooperation, data flows between the governments, businesses, with recommendations to increase the levels of governance, trust, and build openness through trade rules. So this is why this data free flow with trust is important. In the present 21st century, data is a new oil. Data is the new oil. That is the reason why something related to data is important. I'm expecting a question on this. Then East Med Mediterranean, Med means Mediterranean Gas Forum. This gas forum is formed because East Mediterranean Gas Forum is formed because it's an EU pipeline to import the gas from these gas-rich countries. So EU and its allies in West Asia and North Africa made up plans to build gas pipeline from Mediterranean Sea to Europe's mainland to transport the gas, because Europe is mostly a cold country, a cold continent where it needs a lot of gas for their heat. So to protect their health, they need a lot of gas. So they are, to reduce the import charges, they are planning to construct this pipeline. We also have this TAPI pipeline, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India pipeline. This TAPI is also there to import the gas. Okay. So this TAPI pipeline is also did not come into picture until now. So East Mediterranean Gas Forum is there. Why it is important? Because they did not include this Turkey. They excluded this Turkey. There was a conflict between Turkey and Europe in the recent times because of Turkey's president is doing some odd things. he is very radical in nature. That is the reason why they have wantedly excluded this Turkey part of this East Mediterranean Gas Forum. So the countries in this East Med Gas Forum are Cyprus, Egypt, Greece, Israel, Italy, Jordan, and Palestine. When Turkey is excluded, what Turkey will do? Then they will see some alternate thing to curb this kind of pipeline. So what they have done, they have challenged this EU pipeline project, and apart from that, what they have done is that they reach an agreement with Libya. Libya is also not member of this East Mediterranean Gas Forum, but Libya touches this Mediterranean Sea. Libya shares a border with this Mediterranean Sea. So they have made an agreement with this Libya that whatever the gas which was discovered in the Mediterranean Sea, it is coming in your EEZ, that is exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone. So you also oppose. Okay, all these things, they are, it's a kind of politics thing. So this East Med Gas Forum is important. Okay, all these countries are touching the Mediterranean Sea. Italy, Jordan, Cyprus, Egypt, Greece. Okay, look for those countries which are touching and not touching. Palestine is not a country generally, but it's a two-state solution is there. Yesterday we have seen Israel touching the Mediterranean Sea or not. Then World Food Program. World Food Program is important because they have been given Nobel Prize for their activity to prevent hunger in the poor countries. So that because hunger is leading to the terrorism, because everyone is taking the gun for the food only. So preventing hunger as a weapon of war and conflict. That is the reason why they have given the World Food Nobel Prize for this World Food Program. This WFP is founded in 1961 by FAO and UNGA, UN General Assembly, and FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization, which is headquartered in Italy. Okay, and this WFP is also headquartered in Italy. Recent initiative by WFP is Share the Meal. Share the Meal. So don't get confused if it is this question will come that this Share the Meal is the initiative of FAO or it is the initiative of WFP, World Food Program. Okay. The World Food Program, even though WFP is by FAO and UNGA. Okay, then it is not anything regarding Share the Meal in the COVID-19 pandemic or something like that. It is related to terrorism and preventing hunger. Then One Health Global Leaders Group on Antimicrobial Resistance. They will not give this much big name in the examination, but they will give One Health Global Leaders Group is formed, is recently seen in the news, is related to what they will ask. Because if they give antimicrobial resistance, it is easy to guess. So they will give One Health Global Leaders Group. This is not related to COVID-19. This is not related to COVID-19, but this is related to microbial resistance. Okay, because antimicrobial resistance is a bigger problem than COVID. Bigger problem than COVID, because the drugs will not function, will not act on the bodies. So this is the very what we say that slow threat. It is creeping under the ground, but it becomes a very big threat in another 10 to 15 years, because everyone is taking the drugs rampantly, especially the antimicrobial drugs, especially in India. Okay, antibiotics and all these things. So this is launched by UN, and it's a collaborative effort of three things, that is FAO, Organization for Animal Health, and WHO. WHO, you can guess, will be collaborative effort of this thing. But why FAO and Animal Health? Because in food also we are finding this antibiotics are being used in the foods. For example, to the chickens, that is poultry, we are giving this antibiotics, which are creating antimicrobial resistance to the chickens also. And when we eat them, then we are also getting this antimicrobial resistance. And Organization for Animal Health, because animals are also contributing to this antimicrobial resistance in the humans. So this is why FAO, Organization for Animal Health, and WHO are there. So remember these things, easy for elimination things. Then next, Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. So this 2018 only, very recently we have come up with this particular act. This generally comes in the economics section, but I'm saying here because we have given many people like Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi have escaped from India to UK. So India has requested for extradition of these people from UK to India to prosecute these people. So under what act? Under this act, that is Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. Act seeks Act seeks to confiscate the properties of these economic offenders who left the country to avoid facing criminal prosecution, or when even though they haven't left India, to avoid physical criminal prosecution. But when we call them, they are not coming to avoid this prosecution. So these are called as economic offenders. So I have given the definition of fugitive economic offenders definition: a person against whom arrest warrant is given for committing offence listed in the Act, whose value is at least 100 crore, not 1,000 crore. So they can easily change this name to 1,000 crore. So minimum 100 crore should be there, at least 100 crore should be there to decide a person as fugitive economic offender. So apart from that, some important things are also there. ED, that is Enforcement Directorate, enforces this FEMA and Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So I have seen this, so that is the reason why I have said know about this FEMA and Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Nothing important, but I felt if they ask these kind of things, you should be answerable to it. So fugitive economic offenders is very much important. They can ask this definition. In 2018, they did not ask this question, so maybe this year they will ask. Then Indian Extradition Act. So for extradition of fugitive criminals in India, India can extradite any person based on this extradition treaty. So consulars, passport office and visa division of Ministry of External Affairs will implement this Extradition Act for extraditing persons from other countries. So recently, it is seen in the news because of Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi. So we are extraditing these persons, and these people are also booked under Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Okay. We have given a red corner notice to Nirav Modi also. So if you see red notice, purple notice, green notice, recently seen in the news, are related to which organization? They will ask these things. So these notices are generally of the Interpol. Okay, Interpol, International Police. So know about this Interpol. If they have to give the bouncers to you, they can give these kind of bouncers. So red notice is to seek location and arrest of wanted persons for prosecution or to serve sentence, and yellow notice is there. They will not ask what is this notice, what is that notice, because not important, but to give a kind of awareness to you guys, I'm saying this. So yellow notice is to help locating missing minors or to identify persons who are unable to identify themselves, and blue notice is to seek information on unidentified bodies. So everything is not related to the terrorists or this kind of people who have done grave mistakes, economic mistakes or human mistakes. Only red notice is there. Don't think that red notice is higher version of the given to those people who have done higher crime. No, all these notices are different from each other. Okay, they are exclusive in nature. Nothing related to it. Nothing is severe and nothing is less severe. Okay, this is not like grey list or blacklist given by this FATF. Okay, so these notices are different from each other. Then minilateralism. We have seen this multilateralism and plurilateralism. You know about this multilateralism and plurilateralism. Multilateralism and plurilateralism. What are this? What is the difference between these two? They can ask these conceptual questions. They are only limiting themselves to the polity conceptual questions. They have to ask. They can ask conceptual questions in international relations also. So multilateralism is relations between many countries. That is like ASEAN is a multilateral forum. ASEAN is a multilateral forum. G7, G20 are a multilateral forums. So many countries are there. In plurilateralism, 2 countries will be there, mostly 2 countries. So we are moving from bilateral relations to multilateral relations. So plurilateralism is generally bilateral relations between 2 countries. If it is not 2, mostly 3. Okay, that's all. It will not extend more than these 3 countries. So plurilateralism is smaller one. Then it comes multilateralism. Then multilateralism will come. So it is a diplomatic efforts by more than 3 countries outside the traditional multilateral forums is called as multilateralism. This concept is emerging in the recent times because Quad is there. Quad is a group of 4 countries, that is India, Japan, USA, and Australia. So this Quad security dialogue is there. So this kind of Malabar exercise is there. Malabar exercise also between 4 countries only. So they are not involving multiple countries, but it is between plurilateralism and multilateralism. So it is a middle path, multilateralism. It is like a middle path of which Buddha has said. So quadrilateral dialogue is there. India, Australia, France in Indo-Pacific region for better development. They are the examples of this minilateralism. So why it is important? Because Our Eyes initiative is there. This Our Eyes initiative is also a part of 6 ASEAN countries. So ASEAN countries, there are 10 ASEAN countries are there. All the ASEAN countries are not participating, but among these 6 countries are also only participating. So this comes under multilateralism, and this comes under this Our Eyes initiative is a part of minilateralism. So this Our Eyes initiative is mostly for effective intelligence sharing network. Intelligence sharing network, nothing related to eyes or Our Eyes. So it is for effective intelligence in the Indo-Pacific region, because most of the trade goes in the Indo-Pacific Ocean only. So effective intelligence, because China is using its power in the South China Sea and Indo-Pacific Ocean. So to reduce its dominance in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, these countries formed a intelligence network to protect their areas. This is the initiative, Our Eyes initiative. Then CIPRI report. So what is this CIPRI report? Yes, it is a Swedish thing. It is an NGO which gives how much countries are spending on nuclear weapons or on the military expenditure. So they have given a recent report, CIPRI. It is not a UN or anything. It is India. They have given a report which says that India stands 7th among the 9 countries armed with nuclear weapons in terms of inventory warheads. So India's is increasing. Nuclear warheads were increasing when there are treaties like START treaty. START treaty is there, and there is a treaty between India, between Russia and USA, nuclear warheads. So in the 21st century, there are some countries which are increasing and there are some countries which are decreasing. USA and Russia are decreasing, but even though they are decreasing, their nuclear warheads are more than any of the countries. So they also give these trends in world military expenditure. There is a report given by CIPRI. What they have said is India's and China's military expenditure is increasing. China's military expenditure is increasing year on year. Even though India's defense expenditure as percentage of GDP is decreasing, but in absolute terms, that is in monetary terms, it is increasing year on year. So trends in world military expenditure is not given by any UN organization, it is given by CIPRI. Then 5 Eyes group of nations. So we have seen Our Eyes initiative for intelligence network. This eye is also for intelligence issues only. So but this 5 Eyes group of nations is different from that of the ASEAN's Our Eyes initiative. Okay. Our Eyes initiative is by ASEAN, and this 5 Eyes initiative is by this was formed in 1950s only, 1950s, during the Cold War era, when the Cold War has started between USA and Russia, USSR. This USA and UK, to decode the Soviet Russian intelligence during the Cold War, they have formed this intelligence network. So by late 1950s, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand have joined it. So Canada, Australia, and New Zealand have joined it. Australia and New Zealand neighbors, Canada and US are neighbors, and UK is major power during that point of time. So they joined this alliance. That is the reason why it is called as 5 Eyes. And why it is present in the news? Because recently Japan became the 6th eye. Japan became the 6th eye. May not be on Russian intelligence, but may be on China. To curb the China's dominance in the region, they are extending this intelligence network to other things also. But India is not a member of this initiative. But India has advocated for this UK-led campaign against this end-to-end encryption. Okay, there is end-to-end encryption by WhatsApp and Facebook. Facebook and WhatsApp are saying that there is end-to-end encryption. This end-to-end encryption is leading to what it is leading to a communication between terrorist organizations. That is the reason why India supported this end-to-end campaign against the end-to-end encryption. Okay, which is led by UK. Then there is D10 club. D10 club is also important because recently there is a growing 5G technology is there. So D10 club is there. D10 club is important because 5G technology, India is also taking steps to start this 5G technology. So growing 5G technology made this in the news. Why it is important? Because 5G technology is mostly dominated by Chinese film. That is Huawei. Okay. So Britain is pushing USA to form a club of 10 nations. Just remember D club, or they will not give 10. They will give D club. So D means Deca. Deca. Just remembering, I'm saying D means Deca. So 10 nations to develop 5G technology to reduce the dependence on Huawei. So the members are G7. G7 countries are there. Initially it was G8, but Russia has not listened to USA. That is why they excluded Russia from here and they made the G7. Plus Australia, South Korea, and India are part of this D10 club. Okay. Australia, South Korea, and India. India is also part of this D10 club. That is the reason it is important. So they made alternative, develop its own 5G technology. So they are taking steps to develop their own 5G technology. Then there are certain places which are recently seen in the news. As we have seen in 2018 paper, there are some places they are asking and they are giving them as the following. So these are 4 to 5 important places which I have seen in the news. Have taken these things. So there is Nagorno-Karabakh. Nagorno-Karabakh is a place which is straddling between West Asia and Eastern Europe. Especially this is present in Armenia. Nagorno-Karabakh, where Armenian separatists are present in this Nagorno-Karabakh, which is present in the news in the recent times. So there was some clashes happening in this region. That is the reason why this is present in the news. Then there is Sheikh Jarrah. Sheikh Jarrah is also present in the news. This is the place which is just the neighborhood of East Jerusalem. Jerusalem is present in Israel. But Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel. Israel's capital is Tel Aviv. Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel, but in the Jerusalem there is UN's Israel's consulate. These kind of external affairs related bodies are there. So East Jerusalem, this Sheikh Jarrah is present just neighborhood of East Jerusalem. It is in the news because Palestinians are facing threat in this region. Sheikh Jarrah, Nagorno-Karabakh is there. Then Natanz is there. Natanz is present in Iran. It was present in the news in 2014, 15, and 12, 13 also, when USA is planning to impose sanctions on Iran. Because why they are planning to impose sanctions on Iran? Because in Natanz they are planning to develop this nuclear weapon grade uranium. Weapon grade uranium. What is this weapon grade uranium? Is it uranium 238 or uranium 235? It's 235, not 238. Naturally, uranium is present with the atomic weight of 238. So when we remove some of the electrons or change something, protons and this thing, it becomes uranium 235, which is very much reactive in nature. It goes to the excited state, and which is used for this weapon grade uranium or weapon grade nuclear weapons. So there was underground fire broke in this Natanz nuclear facility. That is the reason why it is present in the news. So, and there is Bhashan Char. Bhashan Char is also present in the news because it is the island in Bay of Bengal. The Rohingyas, who are migrated to India and Bangladesh, because of there is huge attacks on these Rohingyan Muslims in Myanmar. So there was opposition from their own country also, like in Bangladesh also, when huge migrants are coming to Bangladesh, Bangladeshis are opposing this migration into their country. So what Bangladesh has done is that they sent these groups of Rohingyas to this island, that is Bhashan Char Island, even though it is many of the human rights organizations are opposed for this kind of a move, because nothing is present in this Bhashan Char, an island which doesn't have much of the resources. But they are sending to this island to satisfy their people. Then Shadinoto Shorok, or how you spell it is up to you. This is present. It's a border road between India and Bangladesh. This is very much important because recently we have renamed this road connecting India and Bangladesh, border road connecting India and Bangladesh, with this kind of name, Shadinoto Shorok. Shadinoto Shorok is a border road between India and Bangladesh. So these are the 5 places which I found very much important for this examination, because these are present in the news. I'll try to know the names, important places in Afghanistan also, because this time Afghanistan is very much present in the news. And one more thing, try to know the lakes in Ladakh. Ladakh region, because India and China have issues in this in Ladakh, African region.